At the end of the world, there's a place where silence roars louder than words, where the wind dances with glaciers and mountains pierce the sky like ancient gods. This isn't a vacation, it's a pilgrimage. Welcome to Patagonia, where every step leads you deeper into the untouched. A wilderness that doesn't welcome you, it tests you. But if you listen closely, it might share its secrets. Not all who wander are lost, but here, getting lost is part of the journey. The Deans Circuit on Navarino Island, remote, wild, nearly untouched by man. You hike for days without seeing another soul. Only the thrum of wind and the crunch of gravel beneath your boots. And when the fog lifts, revealing peaks like teeth, you understand solitude is sacred here. Torres del Paine, the crown jewel of Patagonia. Granite towers erupt from the earth, lit in gold each dawn. Every turn of the trail delivers a new cathedral of nature. You walk through windswept valleys, glacial lakes and forests that whisper forgotten myths. The W Trek, it's not just a path, it's a rite of passage. The pampas stretch endlessly, wind chasing ghosts across golden plains. You won't see pumas at first, but they see you. Their presence lingers, imprints, in silence, in the sudden stillness of guanacos. This is the other Patagonia, quieter, crueler. Here, survival isn't a tale, it's a law. Glacial Perito, Morno breathes in thunder. Its face splits open, crashing into Lago Argentino in a ballet of ruin. You stand still, not out of fear, but reverence. Each creak, crack, collapse, it's the language of time. In Patagonia, even silence has a sound, and it's ancient. Out here, solitude doesn't echo, it absorbs. You stop speaking, not out of choice, but necessity. Each breath becomes a conversation with the land. A single condor, circling above, becomes your only audience. And in that silence, you find something louder than noise, yourself. You light your campfire under 1,000,000 stars. And remember the tribes that once walked here barefoot. The Selknam, hunters of the south wind. Their rituals were lost, but the wind remembers. It carries their whispers, tangled in ash and firelight. And for a fleeting second, you feel you're not alone. Most trails end at the edge of a map. But Patagonia begins where the maps fade. You cross rivers with no names, hike ridges unnamed. It's a land where GPS stutters and instincts awaken. Each wrong turn becomes a memory, not a mistake. Here, being lost is how you find what matters. Cold streams cut across your path, alive with meltwater. Their rhythm, fast, relentless, mirrors your heartbeat. You drink directly from them, no filter, no fear. It's the purest thing you've ever tasted. Because it's untouched, unowned, unfazed by time. This is Patagonia's gift, water that remembers the ice age. One evening, the clouds spill like ink over the peaks. Rain arrives like a curtain, sudden, cold, relentless. You shelter under rock, not to escape it, but to witness it. The Andes vanish, then return with a breath of sunlight. And for a moment, it feels like the sky itself bowed before the land. After the storm, there's a silence that feels earned. The land breathes slower, you do too. Every leaf that drips, every stone that glistens becomes sacred. You realize Patagonia isn't just a place. It's a presence that demands your surrender before offering peace. 3 days without human voices. Only fox tracks, bird calls, and wind patterns to keep you company. You stop looking at your watch, time dissolves here. Your body moves not by plan, but instinct. In this wild rhythm, something ancient awakens, a version of you untouched by noise. A rockslide blocked the trail. No warning, no reroute, just silence and debris. You hesitated, then veered off trail, compass in hand, boots unsure. But what you found a hidden glade, untouched, unseen. Sometimes in Patagonia, the wrong path leads to the right wonder. As the sun dips, shadows grow longer and older. You feel eyes, but see no one. Maybe it's a fox, maybe a spirit, maybe memory itself. Twilight in Patagonia is different. It doesn't fade, it deepens. And in that soft darkness, you learn to walk without fear. When the stars bloom, the land changes. The glaciers whisper under moonlight, animals stir with new rhythms. You lie in your tent, not asleep, just listening. Each creak, chirp, and rustle is a story. In Patagonia, even the night has a pulse, and it speaks in dreams. The wind doesn't just blow here, it commands. It knocks you sideways, howls in your ear, steals your breath. You lean into it with every muscle tense, every step earned. And somewhere in the struggle, it breaks you open. Not to defeat you, but to reveal what's beneath. Somewhere past mile 40, your legs betray you. Blisters burst, muscles shake, your pack feels twice as heavy. You sit not to rest, but because you have no choice. But Patagonia doesn't slow down. And you realize the mountain doesn't care, but maybe that's why it matters. On the second night, a fox appears. Thin, cautious, but curious. It doesn't steal your food, just sits across the firelight and watches. Neither of you moves, neither needs to. In that moment, two wanderers share a world, no words required. You dream of falling ice, loud, slow, endless. Of cliffs collapsing into frozen water. And faces hidden beneath glacial layers, forgotten by time. It's not fear, it's remembrance. Even in sleep, Patagonia reminds you, nothing here lasts, except the memory it leaves. Why did you come here? To escape, to prove something, to be alone. Patagonia doesn't give answers, it only strips away noise. Until all that's left is the question that matters. Not where are you going, but what are you carrying? Sometimes it hits you. The face of someone you left behind. Their voice blends with the wind, not a memory, but a presence. You came here to be alone, but solitude brings everyone back. Even in the vastness, home echoes louder than silence. By day 6, the food runs low. You ration without thought, chew slowly, pretend you're full. Your body protests, but something deeper wakes, survival. You've never felt more human than this, raw, vulnerable, awake. Nature doesn't coddle, but it sharpens the soul. You reach a river with no bridge. Cold, fast, merciless. There's no choice, only forward. Each step in the water burns, each rock feels like defiance. But when you reach the other side, you're not the same. Some crossings change more than your direction. A rare calm lake appears, still as glass. You see the peaks and yourself, every wrinkle, every scar. It doesn't flatter, it reveals. This isn't the same face that began the journey. And for the first time, you nod at your reflection, not in pride, but peace. You think Patagonia takes your strength, your warmth, your illusions. But in the end, it gives something back. A new silence, stronger, deeper. Not the absence of noise, but the presence of knowing. You didn't conquer this land. You let it shape you. The last camp is the quietest. No words, no fire, just the hush of stars and sleeping stone. You unpack slower, linger longer. Not because you're tired, but because you don't want it to end. This silence, this stillness, it's not something you carry home. It stays here, like part of you now belongs to Patagonia. You begin the descent, downhill feels wrong. Each step takes you further from something sacred. The air grows thicker, the wild quieter. You're heading back to roads, maps, noise. But something's shifted. You don't walk the same. Because now, you carry the mountain in your bones. You'll try to explain it. The winds, the silence, the way mountains speak in stillness. But most won't understand. Because Patagonia isn't a place you describe, it's something you feel. And once you've felt it, no city, no screen, no schedule ever feels the same again. Just before you leave, you stop. One last look at the horizon. It's not a goodbye. Patagonia doesn't say goodbye. It waits, it watches. And deep down, you know, one day you'll return. There are places that change you. Not through comfort, but through challenge. Patagonia is one of them. And if you've heard its whisper through this story, it's calling you too. Don't wait, pack light, walk far. And subscribe for more raw journeys into the wild.